Adulting. So today we are literally looking for balance, and so today we are gonna have adulting from the male perspective. And perhaps the main question here is, how does a boy become a man? How's the process? How's the whole thing? Yeah, so stay tuned.
Yeah, nowadays you can see there's so much pressure on a man, yeah? And it all begins right from when they were children. Mm-hmm. So I'd like the men to share with us, how was the experience being brought up as a boy now to a man, yeah? Mm-hmm. Right now you're still growing up. But how was the experience? Yeah? Transformation from a boy to a man being brought up.
What can you say on the main? Yeah, so hands-on. How different do you think boys are brought up from girls? Yeah.
Okay, well, this is what I'd like to say. In terms of bringing up a boy child, we have, to my perspective, I think we have gender-based issues in terms of bringing up a girl and a boy. Yet I'm yet to be a father to know this, but I can say from my experience, nimekuwa nikicheki vile boy child anakuwa raised to some extent, inakuwa it's like a being raised to face the worst.
Ni kama uko army.
Yeah, ni kama uko army, ni kama uko military training, ingine tricky sana, so that you get braced for what is supposed to happen here, whereby you're not even allowed to express how you feel about yourself. You're not allowed to associate yourself with particular things because the society tends to think that it's girl based and such. So it tends to affect on how a young boy grows up perceiving particular things and all that. That's what on msaki grown on akiona 1 2 3 things anasema hii hapana, hii story ya madem, na akiona 1 2 3 anasema hii sasa hii ndio story ya boys and all that. And you see the way society brings us up, utapata it's something that it's passed on from generation to generation. Utapata the same way maybe I'm perceiving life, you'll find the same thing that will happen in the coming generation. So it's something that you pass it on.
And do you feel like boys and men have been ignored to some extent?
To some extent, yes, they have been ignored, especially when we address the issue of women empowerment, whereby the women were braced to face the current society, the current generation. Mm-hmm. Yet the boy child was left behind to just struggle with the same issues. Yet you remember that the men have a key role in the society to play in terms of even a simple matter of even protecting the female, as we always say. So unapata the ladies out here, if you remember the last episode we did on money matters, whereby the man is supposed to provide. So unapata the boys not braced to face the current situation, whereby you have to face the world as it is. Things are changing so fast and they need to be sharp. You need to be braced for that.
Yeah, were you allowed to express yourself? Yeah.
Now that one, there comes an issue whereby the upbringing society has taught a boy child that he has to grow up being very hard. He has to be always outgoing and facing every challenge that comes his way. And for sure, that is not the way to approach this issue, because one, life provides an equal platform. It provides an equal opportunity. You see, it doesn't say that this is a lady and this is a gentleman. When you're going to face the same situation, it does not segregate. So how being brought up in the past has really affected the boy child to this extent. At this time, everybody is shouting to empower the girl child, but we're forgetting that by shouting that and doing everything to empower this girl child, we're trying to disempower now the boy child. You see, and that's the most important issue that has to be addressed with. Right now, if I may ask any of us here, who has ever had women, something like that? Anybody that is empowering a boy child?
Yeah, and there's so many groups supporting women.
I have an explanation for that. psychologically speaking, and I think this is what led to the whole empowerment of the girl child. We tend to think that guys are logical while a female is emotional. Do you agree with that?
Of course, we tend to believe. Okay, we tend to think.
We balance them out, but for a guy, logic comes first, not emotions.
Yeah, sure.
And this is why they felt that the girl child needs to be adekezo kidogo ama ako empowered, ako uplifted kidogo. So when you're talking about maendeleo ya wanaume, are you saying that men's emotional needs are being neglected?
Of course, that is a very critical point to address.
But my point is, if you say a lady is going to focus more on in terms of the emotions and how you feel, and a man to be left in terms of how he deals with his mindset, I'm a logic. Because logic understands how you think, sort of.
Yeah.
And then you realize that by empowering these women, you're making them usianze kuleta mambo na feelings hapa. You need to think, you need to be very sharp to focus a particular issue, you need to build up yourself and all that. Because ukianza kuleta hisia mob hapa, you won't grow. So we end up sugarcoating this thing, and therefore tunawasukuma pia part ya logic, and yet the boy child is not braced now to face. You now have this, you can say it's competition. You allow me to say it's competition. You are not braced to face now the need. We are not braced to lead, to take the lead of this educated woman. This lady is ready to go out and take opportunity that women also have an equal opportunity to take. We are not braced to take that lead.
I think I'd like to tetea boy child kidogo hapa. You see, women have been empowered so much, and just the way they know has said. Kuna time someone alikuwa ameanza hii initiative ya maendeleo wanaume, that guy alinyamazishwa, right? And you see, already women to empowered. These men need to be taught how to handle an empowered woman. Yeah, they need to be empowered as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there are so many groups that exist to empower girls and to talk to them. So many. Hata even if hata tukienda kwa church, kuna sijui singles, mothers, what. But for a man, there is no group that exists to tetea them or where they can express themselves.
I have a concern.
Yeah.
You said there was once maendeleo ya wanaume, and that guy was shashed.
Yeah.
Who shashed him? Was it ladies or men?
Okay.
Do you guys take the help? You're saying you want to be empowered. If you're empowered, are you gonna take it, or are you gonna be like mwanaume ni kujitegemea?
Okay, the society has taught us the hard way. That we just have to be hard. Very hard.
Yes.
He does not try this gentleman who came up with this thing, he was mocked.
Yeah,
but
he was
By
mocked.
who? Me, I'm asking by who? Was
the
it
general
ladies?
public, ladies to gentlemen, everybody mocked this gentleman.
Yeah, it's very true.
And that is how far we went, not knowing that the thing is that when we are trying to pamper the girl child, you can also pamper the boy child.
And let me ask you guys this thing. If you go out here and find a man, maybe is trying to express his emotions through crying, you'll find a lady yakimwambia, you know what, manzewe wewe mama mingi moja. Unasema ni kono mama
Mama is
you're also
offensive to
a lady.
us. We don't use mama.
No, I find ladies that tell other
Yeah, it's true.
Mkono umama.
Yeah.
Unaona?
It
mkono
happens,
umama.
by the way.
Unaona, it happens. So you also play a key role. You also play a key role. Ukiona mtu mwanaume amefanya hivi unasema hiyo ni mama. So it means hiyo mnafaa kutuachia sisi.
So we also have a role in
To play
Actually, the reason why we're having these gender problems, it's because you have a male and a female. The males will face problems because you have females, and the females will have problems because you have men.
So
are you trying to say
Not really. It won't be a perfect world because you also need to reproduce.
So are you trying to say that men were brought up to in such a way that they should be irresponsible or careless? Such kind of man?
Not really. What happens is actually you are brought up in a way that you should be responsible whichever the matter. Unaona? Hata vitu ziwe ngumu aje, you need to stand up as a man and take the lead. Of which that's something, it's positive on the other side. But on the other side, the fact that you don't allow them to express, to give a particular thought about something the way they feel, you kind of neglect. It's like you have been built totally different. We can't feel pain. We can't see trouble in anything, or I can't say I'm putting my life at this because of ABCD, they're not allowed to say that. But the ladies, if she doesn't feel it's right for her, then no, sichukue msichana wangu hapo and all that.
So what you guys mean, like empowerment should be two-way traffic, right?
Yes.
Like for men and for ladies.
Just to be equal.
Yeah, okay. So there's this other aspect that as ladies, I don't know if you guys also believe it. Like we tend to believe, or is it the society that has put it, like female mature faster than men. Yeah. Do you agree to that?
Okay, this is my take on that, and it's solely my take on that because of the past experiences I've had. This we can't conclusively say that, yeah, because I've seen gentlemen at tender age thinking much more in faults than women. So there's nothing that has been proven that ladies think they mature faster than.
Yeah.
There's nothing according to.
What's scientific about it?
Okay, can you, if I don't know how to put this.
I would say there have been studies and they've come up with a perspective that a man matures at 40.
Now that one maturity in brackets. Now it's very subjective to what you're thinking about when you talk about maturity.
Let's start here first. What do you mean by maturity?
Taking
Like
responsibility.
if I take taking responsibility, and also if I think I put like 19-year-old man here, 19-year-old lady here, their thinking capacity, we'll find that a lady and I think beyond, like and I think above, beyond miaka zake. But this man, and that's the reason why let us we won't dwell so much. We're not talking about relationships, but that's the reason why utapata a 19-year-old can blend so well with a 24-year-old because wana resolving zao ziko hapa.
Which gender? All the 24 which gender?
24 man, 19
Adam came before Eve.
yeah, exactly. A man who is older and a lady who is younger, wata go along vizuri sana, they will reason together very well. But if you find like 8 mates ama you find a lady is older than the man, atatend kumkalia and all that. Not really kumkalia, but thinking capacity yake, these people have a reason pamoja.
This is what I have to say. Over time, we have had very many changes in the society. And if you focus way back, wakati wa mababu zetu and all that, you find that a 15-year-old boy was already being prepared to take responsibility of having a family, to take care of the property and all that. And at that point, ladies were left behind, and you are only supposed to undergo circumcision, after which you'll be given unto a man. And the kazi yako itakuwa you give birth. You give birth and take care of the kids at home as the man goes out. So in this point, the boy child was being prepared to take responsibility at a very early age. To some extent, to also another perspective, you can put it this way. When the women or when the girl child started being empowered, already we are starting now to think so fast, thinking beyond what you have been given at hand. You need to go to school, you need to do ABCD and all that, and you'll find that even nowadays, though ukipata wale wazee wa kitambo, they'll be like, utapata siku hizi even ladies are allowed to stay by themselves. Unaona? Of which we men ilikuwa kitu ya kutoka kitambo. If you are a 12-year-old ama a 10-year-old or whichever age that you are circumcised, you are allowed to go and live by yourself. Unaona? So things have changed. And by things changing, it means you have now been the girl child is now being exposed to more than what the society thought they should be. This one should only be confined to the girl child, which was just take care of your family, cook for your man, give birth and all that, ABCD, unaona. But right now, you are now being exposed to ni vile tu sasa tuwezi change gender roles in terms of reproduction and all that, because that one as a man you have to play as a lady.
Shots fired.
Unaona. So but hizi vitu zingine kama ni story ya provision, kama ni story ya kulea watoto and all that, you have also been brought on board. You need to go out there and work. So you have to be smart. So it doesn't mean that ladies will mature first. It doesn't mean. And another thing, just before my brother comments, is it also depends on where you've been brought up. If you meet a girl who has been, if you meet a girl mwenye amekuwa pampered sana in a rich family and all that, all they know in their mind is my father will provide and all that. My dad will do this, my mama will do this, they'll go out and shop for me and all that. And meet a 15-year-old boy who has been subjected to very harsh conditions of life, whereby you even find maybe they lost even the parents and all that, and therefore they have to take responsibility to go out there and hustle. Lazima uende ufanye vibarua so that you feed your family. Do you want to tell me that now the lady will be more mature than the boy in terms of taking responsibility?
Okay. Now background.
We're just saying there's a shortage of mature men.
Yeah. Hypothetically, let us talk about hypothetically.
No, it's a matter of the man, the boy child has not been raised to take lead of the empowered woman. That's why you feel ni kama the reason why you feel you're not mature enough, it's because you as the lady, you're only supposed to give birth. And the man, that was initially.
It is supposed.
But currently, I'll go to school as a man, you'll go to school as a girl.
As a lady, yeah.
You'll go to work. Unaona? That now becomes a problem whereby sasa inakuwa ni kama we are fighting, ni kama we are competing. Unaona? So it becomes an issue. That's why you view ni kama unaona boys manze wewe hujamachua. Unaona? Why? Because now you think you can do much more beyond than the society thought you should do.
So you think nowadays tables can turn in that we can have older women getting married to younger guys? Now it works vizuri.
It has been happening. Yeah, it's been happening. I'm not saying that I mean.
Why?
You look at with these ladies, you may find a 45-year-old man in brackets behaving like a boy. And
complaining about.
And actually, a woman in this case, or maybe the lady, has done almost everything. So wants to settle. So it sees this young gentleman as more like I don't want to say responsible, but he like suits her much more than the age within the man within the age bracket. So this is the issue. You look at when you say a boy turning to a man. To me, I think one, when a boy is being brought up, we have expectations from the parents. That's the first thing. The boy, as you're growing up, you also get to develop expectations and your own visions. So there comes a point that they're contradicting your own expectations and the expectations of the parent or the dad or something or the family. So the moment you now take up the responsibility to know which one to prioritize for your own good, that's when you become a man. That is the point to become a man. Because you know, okay, my parents need me to do this and that. Okay, fine. I've been doing this for all this time. I have this kind of a time. So within this period of time, what can I do for myself for me to be able to be self-actualized after some time? You make a decision. When you do that, you're now turning from a boy to a man. Because we have some decisions you will make and they'll have to go beyond, to go against the expectation of the parents. But so long as that one gives you a responsibility to forge ahead and actualize yourself, you are now becoming a man. And that one is not defined on age.
If you look at gender-based issues, for example, if you go out here and find girls, maybe in the shule, and out of that, unaona zamani we never had this problem of early pregnancies out of marriage. That's my point. So unapata siku hizi we have a lot of that, and because unapata somehow economically the boy in his age, he might not be able to take responsibility of taking care of the lady and the child, mtu anaamua kutoroka, unaona. So inabidi the girl, hata kama ako 12 years, kama ako 9 years and all that, you have to take responsibility as the mother now. Yeah. You need to bring up this kid, unaona. So inaleta pia story ya kuwa responsible. So it depends to some extent, and to high percentage, it actually depends on what you've been exposed to, what you've gone through, and the society that shapes your personality as a person.
Yeah. A small addition. Now a lady. What makes the whole difference is this. You know, a lady, I don't know what's wrong with the age 24.
What?
But between 18 to 24, a lady is sharing a lot with the colleagues, with other ladies. And we learn by sharing and by doing. So that is the exposure he's talking about. You mingle, you shout ideas. But for us, because of the intimidation our parents have been imposing on us, we still think that at 24, I should be self-actualized, but you don't have the means. So you have to go out. So that's the difference.
Okay.
That's why someone will tell you, a lady at 24, a man at 18. A man at 24, a lady
Now,
at 18.
I think you've
That
expounded
counts.
on that.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, since we're talking about exposure, let's talk about another thing in society. Let's talk about mama's boys.
What?
Mama's boys. You're saying self-actualization, that's when a boy becomes a man, yeah?
You're taking the responsibility to do that now.
To do whatever. Now let's talk about mama's boys and the perceptions we have about mama's boys. How it even affects how you relate with people around you,
Yes.
whether with other guys or with your better half. What do you have to say about mama's boys?
This is what I'll have to say, yeah?
I think I need to add something before you answer. And I want you to address it in this way. Do you think mama's boys are mature people?
This is what I'll have to say, yeah?
Yeah.
In a family context, well, this is just a perspective. I might be wrong, and the older men out there who have sons and daughters, they stand to correct me. If you have a son as a man, and in some way you are an absent dad, or you are inactive in his life, and you let the mama do everything for this, you'll be responsible for discipline. You'll be responsible to talk to the son about life issues out here and all that. So everything that this boy will grow up into a man knowing, she knows whatever mama says, it's right. And the dad never came in to say, you know what, my son, listen to this. Are you struggling with this and this? Can we talk about this and all that? So somehow, if the dad is present, then you not have this issue of mama's boy's son. But if the dad is absent and the mom takes all the responsibilities and all that, and that's why you'll find that if you meet ladies out here, they might say it becomes too difficult to raise a son into a man without a father figure in the house,
Yeah.
because there's that role
Because there
that
are things you can't relate to.
Yeah, exactly.
because you need to talk to your boy to grow into a man and to face issues as a man. But if you're absent and you let the mother take control of everything in a sort of hard, that's just my perspective.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
yeah.
and can you, I think actually, is it surprisingly or most mama's boy have both parents?
It happens.
It happens. It's only
You
about
can be there, but absent.
Oh, yeah, you can be there,
You're
but-
absent in terms of bringing up,
yeah.
and it's actually in terms of mama's boys. It always depends on who you relate to sana. Utapata mtu akiwa na shida, even there are ladies out there, utapata akiwa na shida sana, I'll say I'd rather call my mother. Even men, I'd rather call my mother. Now utapata there's another person somewhere with their family, wakipata an issue, they say I'd rather call our dad, because they know the way they've been brought up, they see how the parents play a role in their lives and addressing life matters. Yeah. So it impacts how you perceive life out here.
Yeah, then I think what is also my brother trying to say is that, raising a family with both parents and the father being absent is a two-way thing.
Yeah.
One, the father might be absent just because he's absent. Number two, the father might be absent because the mother now tries to make him absent. You see? So mothers, can we give a father space also? Just give them space. I've seen families.
How does a mother make a father
I've seen
upset?
families whereby a mother is everything. The father's voice does not even go an inch.
Oh,
Kadiana.
The mother is very overprotective of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So that by doing that, you're trying to deny this father the fatherhood in this family. So if you're raising up your kids, it means that those kids will also grow up knowing that this is a lesser father and this is a great mother. You see? So let's give each other space.
And if you expose your son as a woman, if I had my mother doing everything for me, making decisions, nikitaka kwenda shule lazima yeye ndiye anipeleke, nikitoka shule anikujie, if I want to go out and shop for my own house, my mother will have to be involved. Trust me, just coming into my life, I've been with my mother since I was born. So utapata everything I'll base, anything decision I want to make, I'll have to base it on what will be my mother's take on this. Of which to some extent, I would say, if I had a wife and we are bringing up our son, it's good at times to let them make their own decisions at a particular age though. Just give guidance and tell them you need also to know what will fit you, because you are also growing up. Some days to come you might not be there, and you have to take a step to make your own decisions. So bringing up the mother figure in the relationships, it might make you feel as ladies quite jamaa kuna watoto mingi and all that, but also as men out there, you also need to put that aside for the sake of your lady. I know at times maybe at inaweza to a point that this guy will never listen to me just because the mother figure is there, and inaanza kuleta beef mob, maybe you start eating your
That's where the issue
mother-in-law
is.
and that all, because you feel like the mother is influencing your man's decisions over you, and yet you should be the one influencing the decisions.
Already there's usually an existent strife between a daughter-in-law and a mother-in-law.
Yeah.
So if you factor in a mama's boy, ladies will run.
Exactly.
They will run.
Yeah.
Because unaonanga tutafika kwa nyumba, mommy will be making all the
Especially
decisions
if
for us.
all references you just make sure my mom sometimes in a piece. Yeah. Like that can be a red flag to us. It means,
a red flag.
it is a red flag. It means that nikikosea, you won't tetea me to your mother. You see,
Usha admit tumekosea. Fine.
yeah. As in, okay, no.
Let's say it's a tricky situation,
Yeah.
and I would like you to hear my perspective, but you're more on your mom's side. And you know, by the fact that nimeolewa kwenyu, like I'm the foreigner here. So if you're ganging up with your mom, I lose the battle.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And do you ever feel the pressure as you're advancing from boy to a man? This pressure of getting married.
Yes.
Kaleta watu lili.
That one happens almost every. For any man, any boy who's turning to a man, who have that pressure, because you don't know what you will come over now. You see, you don't know. You have that. I don't want to call it fear of unknown, but we now aware. We are not aware of where you're going. You see, you're just entering an institution, and this is a commitment. So you are not very sure whether by just going and entering that commitment, you will fully deliver as to what people expect, or maybe what the society expect around you. So that one mounts some pressure on you, given the fact that also the parents have a responsibility to play. Some parents takwambia kileta huyu mweusi hapana, install hapana, this such like, you see, they give pressure on us.
But in terms of the pressure that you're talking about, we need to appreciate the fact that when I want to get married to somebody, I also need to have a resource. So to the parents that have been exposed, they won't have much pressure on you, and they will want you to acquire something for yourself before you get in, compared to the ones that let me say they have not been exposed, so they don't understand this aspect of squeezing resources. You need to have resources to keep up with this woman. Ukiangalia kitambo, nikiwa age ndogo, I would be given a portion of land, a portion of animals, a portion of this, and they could even go around and build a house for me, and then I'll go out and get a lady and get married. So by the time she's coming in, you're already somewhere you're starting.
Okay, I want you to understand it this way. Like individual pressure. What are the side bars, yeah? Like just individually. Do you get that pressure? Do you pressure yourself? Yeah. Do you pressure yourself? Like, do you have that pressure?
Well, individually, I'll just say I as Victor.
Yes. That's why I asked. As Victor.
Yeah. I as Victor will say this. I will have set a goal by this year. I want to get married, and nikiangalia vitu nianze kuona vitu zimeanza kuwa tricky and all that, unaanza kusema nafaa kuanza kuchangamka, so unaanza ku build pressure in you. And then another thing might be, though this one doesn't affect me, utapata maybe mabeshte unaanza kuoa sana and all that, and then you feel manze una lose my boys kwenda kwa my wife, so unaachwa sasa. Itabidi ukipiga simu ukitaka kuita na FIFA unaambia buda acha nichangamke huko kwanza, I'll get back to you and that. But inward the pressure that comes from in you inakuanga depending on what you perceive and when is the time that you want to get married, and when it approaches, do you have everything that you thought you should have before you get married?
Yeah. Okay, tumemaliza. Tutafaa kuanza part 2.